You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality art, interviews, music and hot topics. Hosted by Dini Mussolini and co-hosted by Banditti. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at least 1 hour after each show at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. We welcome all. Enjoy the show.
Yo, it feels so good to be back with you guys once again. So, one time for my people who are indigos, starseeds, and crystalline, and 2 times for my people who are vegans. We are averaging over 34,000 plus listeners and over 888,000 downloads worldwide, and we've been at this for 3 solid years. I appreciate all you guys who have been rocking with the kid on this journey, and we are still growing, baby. It is all because of you. Most definitely, we are the people who have dedicated their lives to music, art, movies, and research in every aspect. And we want to allow you the opportunity to tell your story. Man, we've had celebrities on the show, from Grammy Award-winning artists, nominees, to actors, comedians, technology geniuses, visual artists, from authors to professors, and this one time, a professional phone sex operator. Yep, that one's coming soon. But it doesn't matter who you are or what walk of life that you come from. Come on the show and talk to us. So check this out. To book an interview or just to share a real cool story, email me at theradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. I am passionate about what I do, just as passionate about what you do, and together, yes, together, we can get your voice heard by the people who should hear it. So let's create something incredible. And with that, hello out there, and welcome to another episode of our podcast, Vigilantes Radio. Thank you guys again, as always, for tuning in and being a part of our audience family. If you like information on how to call in, ask questions, or speak to our guests, dial this number 701-801-9813, or hop in the mix directly from my website, which is onlyonemediagroup.com. And scroll over to the Vigilantes Radio tab and slap that go live button, and you'll be right here in the chat room with all of us. So feel free to shoot over some questions to ask our guests while they are here. If we have the time, we may even take some calls. Who knows? And as always, all episodes are available for free download. You can grab it from my server over at Spreaker.com/onlyonemediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, and there's an app called Podcast Addict where you can carry us around in your pocket 24/7, 365 days, right for your ear hole. It's right there for the taking. So take advantage of that. Or you can do the old-fashioned way. Go to our website, which is onlyonemediagroup.com, and that goes for every single episode that we ever aired. Well, this episode is well overdue, I could tell you that much. But tonight's episode is the Mr. Melodic Interview, and I am your host, Dini Mussolini. You know, I'm always worried that I would, forget which episode it's going to be for tonight, but I haven't messed that up yet, so still crossing my fingers on that. Announcement. Well, After the Storm 2 drops on the 27th. Yes, that's 4 days away. So expect a listening party for that soon. It won't be on the 27th or near that, but because of the podcast. But it will be sometime in April. But we'll let you guys know. Stay tuned to our Facebook page over at facebook.com/R7 Worldwide. That's where we post all of our announcements. Or if you're friends with me on Facebook, as most of you guys are, you can find out the information there as well. We'll also post it on the website, which you guys frequent very often, which is so cool, in my opinion. Any more announcements? No, we're still waiting on iHeartRadio to approve our podcast. So fingers crossed on that one. Man, I'm running out of fingers to cross here. I have to start doing toes. Who knows? I made a rhyme there. Okay, any more announcements? No, that is it. Okay, so, yeah, the Coach Denny tip for tonight. So I got an email from Penny. And as you guys know, I've been covering, like, ways that you can make money as a musician, artist, and we fumbled upon the subject of touring and merchandise, or doing shows using your merchandise. So last podcast I talked a little bit about hall fees. So I got an email from Penny. She says, Coach Denny, what in the heck is a hall fee, and should I be worried? All right, Penny. Hall fees are fees charged by a venue for selling your merch there. You ever go to like arenas or festivals or even music halls of the store, and they always ask like vendors, we got vendor packages. That's kind of what a hall fee is. It's a allotted space that you basically rent or you pay a percentage on for posting up and selling your merch there. Because if you're like a store, like a storefront, look, I'm a retailer by trade, and I actually May the 30th, I'm hanging my hat up in retail. I'm quitting. I'm shutting the shop down. Radio Shack will be no more. But we'll get into that on another episode, or later on when that time is right. But in my professional career, 12 years to be exact, storefronts, what we call space in the store, that's money. So where we would set a product, we would make the company, like let's say Beats by Dr. Dre. Our permanent location in our store will be the very front. If Dr. Dre wanted that position in our store, he would have to cough up an allotted amount of cash or capital to get that spot, versus Nick Cannon coming in with his headphones and say, hey, I need that spot. So that's the same way hall fees work. You paying for your spot to sell business or sell your merchandise. So these fees are usually, though, a percentage cut of your merch take and are paid to the hall by the merch company. Though the merch company pays out the hall fees, the percentage the venue gets is up to you and your agent. When your agent books your show, they negotiate the hall fees. And because you are in charge of negotiating the fee the merch company pays, and because artists' takes on merch have increased in the recent years, merch companies have begun putting caps on hall fees into their contracts. Anything over the cap comes out of the artist's takes. For instance, if the cap in your tour merchandising contract is only 30%, your agent can't get a better rate than 40% as a hall fee. The difference between the cap and the actual fee, in this case 10%, comes out of your cut in the merchandise sales. But wait, where do venues get off charging so much for selling merch under their roof? Like I said, it's all about space, right? Just how anything in life, time is money. In retail, space is money. Well, in many cases, your merch company doesn't actually physically sell your merch. Instead, they may just help deliver your merch to the venue, because you're not going to be there to check it in, right? Unless you're hauling it in your van or vehicle or tour bus. But most of the time, the merch company, after they take over the merchandise for the artist, they usually are the ones who's shipping out the T-shirts, the CDs, the wristbands, anything else, to the venue before you get there, so whoever there can set up for you. And the venue staff sets up the merchandise stand and does all of the selling. The hall fee is a charge for this service. So basically, you're hiring this hall or arena to use their own people to sell your merch. So you don't have to, deal with that kind of thing. But like people like Bone Thugs and Harmony, they have those kind of people already in place. So I think they actually get around the hall fee because they actually have employees who work the merch table and they bring their own merch. So hall fees are included in the cost of patrolling your show for bootleggers in many cases, but usually that is a very small piece of the pie. And note that tour merchandising deals can vary. In some cases, rather than getting a percentage of gross, musicians get a larger percentage of the net share between all parties involved. Speaking of the deal, what does a tour merchandising deal look like? Besides detailing the percentages of what we already discussed, tour merchandising deals have a few different parts. One of the biggest parts of such a deal is the advance. Oh, everybody loves advances. Tour merchandisers frequently pay advances just like record labels. But unlike record deals, merch advances are often recoupable or returnable, and sometimes are even recoupable with interest. Oh my goodness. Advances from merch companies are usually paid in a few different chunks over the course of the tour and are contingent upon a few factors. Factor number one, you have to begin your tour within a specific amount of time as laid out in the contract. Usually the time is pretty short, 3 months or so from the date of signing this comment. And number two, you have to agree to pay a certain number of shows with a certain number of paying concert goers per show. Oh my goodness, that sounds like a headache. I don't have the time. I'll just bring my own crew. The hell with that. So that last point, I know you like, hey, you're talking in circles, okay? But the last point, the certain number of concert goers is the key. This number is known as your performance minimum. The merch company expects you to play for at least that number of people at each show. Why? So there are enough people around interested in buying your merch. This performance minimum is based on the amount of money they think each person will spend at your show. For instance, let's take the total take at the show breakdown to $1 spent on merch for every person at your gig. If you don't meet these minimums, the tour merch company can cancel your deal and recall your advance. Yeah, they want all their money back. So your advance can also be withdrawn if you don't hit the road in a timely fashion. You know, there's sometimes pushbacks, there's mishaps, you know, things happen. Or if you become unable to fulfill your touring obligations because of sickness, injury, blah, 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 blah. So as a musician, one of the most important things you can negotiate in your tour merch deal is the term. And of course, we have more podcasts to learn about that. So let's look online here. Okay. We have about 17,000 on the line with us tonight. That is what's up. And I know you guys are not here for little old Dinny. No. You have to be here for Mr. Melodic, of course. So without further ado, I won't keep you guys waiting any longer. How awesome, hooligans and vigilantes, is an interview with Mr. Melodic. And I'll fill in that blank for you guys. It's extremely awesome. Oh yeah. So I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Melodic, a fellow kinsman in the Seven Sign Connect gang and Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate, a one-man army of smooth hip-hop, staccato flow, and a truly dedicated and passionate fan of all things music. Beginning this interview, some of you may know very little about Melodic, but more about his work as Crazy Soldier. So that's why we do this through interviewing. Well, you'll see. You're really going to get to know him well through this interview, and I might have finally found my ideal match for musical conversation. Melodic will leave no stone unturned in this interview. All questions will be answered with genuine thought, and the effort put into these answers can clearly be heard by you guys. After learning all about him, I think it will be just as clear to you as it has become to me. Melodic is just not the type to ever put in less than 100% in his heart and soul into anything he puts his mind to. His music, he found a way to get the most out of the equipment he uses to put forth an incredible result. I believe he will employ the same strategy when tackling his interview tonight. For you fans of Mr. Melodic, there is an incredible amount of information and thoughts from Melodic on not only his music, hardware, software, but also how his life intersects with his passion for creation and how these songs come to life or find their end. And guess what? For you new fans of Mr. Melodic, that's right, you guessed it. There is an incredible amount of information at every turn for you, just like it was there for me. So I like to thank Mr. Melodic once more from myself personally for truly putting something out there that any music fan would want to hear. He has an incredible insight into where the state of music is at, and your music, or his music, should I say, will continue to impact me for as long as I do this myself. Because that's what it's all about, right there in one quick statement. And I wouldn't have it any other way. So cheers, guys. Refill your cups right now. And let's invite him onto our show. Mr. Melodic, what's up, bro?
What's going on, Houdini? How's it going?
Man, I'm blessed, man. Having a ball over here. What's going on?
God bless.
Definitely. So, shall we dive deep into this interview, bro?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, right off the top, Melodic, we have got a lot to talk about. The music you're making in Melodic Flow Mixtape Volume 2, which I was bumping that all day today, is incredibly relevant, not just to music in general, but to myself on a personal level. And we'll get into all of that in just a bit. But right now, I just want to say thanks again for doing this interview with us and get some of that getting to know you stuff, on the podcast so we can talk some music. So first up, let's talk about where you're living. Last I've known, you were in Massachusetts the last time we spoke, a state that doesn't really have a musical background for hip-hop, but I could be wrong, and you have to fill me in on that part. But my question is, what is it really like for your island hip-hop infused music in the state of MA?
Well, Massachusetts is full with Cape Verdean people, and that music that I bring in, Melodic Flow Volume 2, is a mixtape I put together with Zouk, Kizomba, Afrobeat, blend in with my melodic style. And it's everywhere in Massachusetts, really. It's all in the clubs. There's Cape Verdean people everywhere in Massachusetts.
Because I know we were talking maybe this past summer about you relocating to Florida, maybe the South.
Yes, I did go down south. I was actually staying in North Carolina. Things didn't go that smooth down there. The opportunities didn't fall into places where they should have been. A lot of monies were lost, so I ended up coming back to Massachusetts.
All right, so as you said, Cape Verdean music is everywhere. The people are everywhere. So I imagine that the clubs will love this joint for sure. But how much of this music can you find outside of the club? Is there room for your music in Massachusetts?
I believe there is room outside of the club. My music is a little different. My style's a little different. It's more melodic flow, like Bone Thugs and Harmony. But what it is it came from Africa, that style. And me being Cape Verdean and learning the roots of Africa and learning the music, my uncles play, my aunt sing and my mom sing, and just being all around music all my life and really listening. I've always wanted to be a part of it. So I did a Melodic Flow Volume 1, which sold out all over outside of the club, actually. I put it in the local stores in the community, and to see what it do, and it did good. So people wanted more melodic flow. I was doing my own thing with rapping my own spirituality, rap, dreamy mood, calling things in that nature. Ghost Town Underground LP, mr-melodic Underground LP, which you can find in stores, at CD Baby, iTunes, Amazon, etc. I was trying to get back into the roots, melodic flow. So I actually took my time, and really thought about this, and I was like, you know what? The first mixtape worked. Let's see what the second one does.
Okay. You said your mom sings. Will we ever get a chance to hear you and her on a record together?
My mom, probably not. I'm not sure if she wants to, but probably not.
Is she aware of your music?
Yes, she is. She is aware of my music. She supports me and always tells me to keep doing what I'm doing. Sounds good.
Definitely, man. You got to put that bug in her ear, like, come on, Mom, we got to collab. You need to hear those golden vocals. And the reason why I was birthed, with this gift. Maybe get your uncle to play, play some live, in one of those records.
Well, I did thought about that when my uncle playing the guitar. He's real good at it. I did thought about that, reaching out to him to see if he wanted to collab. Haven't done that yet, but it's been in the back of my mind.
Okay. So let's talk about the polarizing issue of auto-tune vocals. Okay. People certainly love it or they hate it. Believe me, I still hear about the issue all the time on my side of the computer screen. What most people don't understand is that it still needs to be used well for it to work well. As in, it actually does require skill to use it properly and effectively. It doesn't just do the work for you like so many people assume it does. So give us your professional insight on that, Melodic. What's the key to making this work?
Auto-tunes, I've used it before on a song called Chosen One and a few different other ones I did with Dead Eyes. Auto-tune is basically knowing when to raise the volume when the vocals is flat. You have to have the ears. You can also use a compressor and pitch correction that does the same effect as the auto-tune plugin. It's basically just hearing it and knowing when to raise it when the vocal is flat. A lot of people think like, a lot of people think they can sing and they really can't sing, But I tell them anyways, even though they say you can't sing, just sing. But they use auto-tunes for correction to make them sound like they can sing. They sound like they're a rock star in the car, Mm-hmm. A lot of people do that. That's, to me, I don't really need it because I can actually sing. Yes, I can sing and I can rap as well. But some people have come to my studio in the past and I had to use auto-tunes in their vocals just to make them sound a little better. So auto-tunes to me, it's like, I don't want to hear it. I love it. Soon I hear it, I don't like it. But they use it a lot in pop music. Many singers, they just look good, but they can't sing, and they use auto-tunes.
Yeah. That's a debatable topic there. My opinion on auto-tunes is that I don't think it was really meant to like auto-correct, mistakes. I think that's what Melodyne is for. Auto-tune is more for like making the vocal sound almost like an instrument. I think it was highly popular in the early 80s maybe with electronic music when it hit the scene. I think it was also done maybe in the 70s as well. I'm not too sure about that timeline, but yeah, like you said, man, when people come in, they throw on auto-tunes because they can't sing, but I don't really think that's what, auto-tunes is for. So that's why people hate it, because it's not being used the correct way. Are they coming in the studio thinking, okay, I can be Beyonce with a little auto-tune?
Yes, I believe the first time I heard auto-tune was with Dr. Dre and Tupac, California Love, I believe. And I think back then they were using some type of tube in their mouth. You can see Dr. Dre had it in the video. Yeah. Auto-tunes is
Oh, that was the voice box.
That was the voice box. Okay, that's what that was.
Voice box. Yeah, that was before auto-tunes.
Okay. Wasn't that equipment like $50,000 at that time or something like that?
Man, I don't know. That's my first time hearing a figure for it. But dang, that's costly.
Yeah, I remember because I wanted to know what it was, and I came across it. I believe this was in '99. Yeah, I've been doing music for a while. For those that didn't know, I've been doing music. I'm a new artist on the come up, but I've been in the studio since I was 13 years old.
Definitely, man. Sometimes you got to reinvent yourself, because there's so many people in this world. You're going to be new to somebody.
Right, that's right.
And that's the strategy I've been using, man. I've been calling myself a new artist. So I've been using that hashtag, and I've been getting like so much attention from it, but I'm not a new artist. I've been around the block a few times.
Right.
But they don't know that, okay? All right, so sometimes, Melodic, I get a little ridiculous when it comes to research sometimes. And what I want to know is whether or not everyone deserves a second chance, maybe a third or even a fourth. You know what I mean? Can people truly change?
Yes, I believe people can change. And I believe in second, third, fourth, fifth chances. It all depends on the heart. And actually if people can really apologize and change if they want to change. I would never try to change a person. I expect them to change if they feel like changing. Change is a lot of energy. It has to do with the energy of especially in the twin flame reunion. I believe if you find your twin flame and if they want to change from you, you want to change for them. I believe in accepting the person for who they are, which is the more positive aspect of it. But if there's certain things that need to be changed and you don't agree with, I believe in letting them change on their own. Don't force nobody to change. But yes, I agree in second and third and fourth chances.
That's cool, man. That's cool. So here's another question that I never thought about asking before, so let's see what happens here. Do you consider yourself a musician or rapper? Or are they different, or are they truly one and the same?
I consider myself a musician. I can play instruments and I have talent.
Okay. Would it be precise to say, if someone couldn't play instrument, but they use their voice as an instrument, would you say the person is an artist or a musician?
The voice is an instrument.
Mm-hmm.
Our artist is lyrical. They say what they mean what they say. Artists crafts, songs, and albums, complete package they bring to the table. More of a rapper, too much being lyrical can potentially damage the song overall. The quality is balance is the key. A rapper There is a difference between a musician and a rapper. A musician plays. Okay. This is a tough little question here. A musician can, you know what I'm saying? Because I do both, but I consider myself a musician. The fact that I can do multiple things, I can and I actually have a talent. I can bring a whole package, not just go in the studio and just what are we doing? We're rapping and not even know what tracks are, not even know what a multi-double is, not even know what an ad-lib is. They just know how to rap. You know, a musician knows all that. They even know how to even know their notes. You know what I'm saying?
I can dig that. God did say, make a joyful noise, and a joyful noise sound like music to me. So, okay, that's debatable though. So, if you could put your music into the hands of another artist, producer, or engineer, who would you want that to be and why?
Bone Thugs and Harmony, because I feel a spiritual connection with Bone Thugs and Harmony. I've been listening to them. I'm a fan as well. Been listening to them for years. Started off listening to Eazy-E, and when Bone Thugs came out, I was kind of like, this is what's up right here. And I got a lot of my ideas and the speed rapping from Bone Thugs, and I'm with Seven Sign right now with Rebirth Nationwide, so I'll say Bone Thugs.
Definitely. And I don't know if you knew this, but according to Wikipedia, Bone Thugs had a record label called BTNH Worldwide. I think the guy named Bobby Fischer helped Bone put it together. But according to Wiki, anybody under Busy Bone's Seven Sign is a part of BTNH Worldwide, the record label. There's a few names listed there. So Google Bone Thugs and Harmony, check out the Wikipedia page, and then where it says record label, BTNH, click on BTNH Worldwide, click on that and you'll see it. It's crazy, okay, man. I seen that and my mind was blown. I was like, okay, so where's my contract?
I was thinking the same thing as you were saying now. I'm like, okay, where's the contract at? How do we do this?
So ultimately, that was the plan for, Bone was supposed to consolidate everybody. The Mo Thugs, the Life, the Seven Signs, the Harmony House, the LBGs, all under one roof, which would have been so cool. But somewhere between, I think, Full Surface with Swiss Beats and the new venture they had with Warner Brothers, they kind of went away from that. So I'm still trying to figure out, that missing piece of the puzzle. I got to talk to B about it and see, what he think. But because I never asked the question. But, there is a missing link there. Like, what happened? Because all of a sudden they abandoned it.
Yeah, that's definitely something to dig into.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm through with my hypothetical questions, I guess. Let's get into your music. Do you purchase independent beats and keep it indie like that, or are you working with some majors too?
I purchase indie beats. I try to keep it like that. I have worked with at Bad Boys with Skid and June from AAMG Universal Music Group. Also TNT Entertainment. They were my booking agent. I've done a couple of things with them, which is on a major level. So it's of course we all know Bad Boys, P Diddy, and all them. I've done some things in the past. I tried to reach out to Neptunes. They wrote me back a letter saying I got potential. This is back in 2002, I believe. Yeah, I've reached out to a few major major labels. I've been all the way to California, to Capitol Records, to Interscope, right next to Interscope, St. Monica, I believe it was Universal. But right now, I just keep it with the whole independent thing and try to grow from that. And I work with different producers like Street Rep, Foreign Affair. I worked with Street Smart Entertainment. They're all in Massachusetts. I even tried to reach out to Duck Down, which had the group Special Teams, Ed O.G. and Slang. They're from Massachusetts as well.
Okay.
Oh, and Benzino from Made Man. Actually, way back in the day when they were doing the Stop Snitching CD with Made Men out there in Boston. Back in the days, we was Dead Eyes as a group, and we did I think the track was called Stop Snitching as well. And we reached out to them, which was Benzino's little camp.
Okay, cool, man. So, did you drink any puffy juice?
Puffy juice?
Yeah, Ciroc.
Oh yeah. My older brother General, we was at a G-Unit party and we got twisted, man. We got so twisted, man. I was walking around in New York City, acting a fool, man. They're trying to calm me down. I was just twisted off that Ciroc. Yeah.
Hold on, you were at a G-Unit party drinking Ciroc?
Yeah. We was at like a G-Unit party with somebody. It's one of the A&R's birthday. I think Mario, the singer, was there. There was a couple of other artists there. And we was up in there. We got in through with June from All Around Music Group, Universal. We got in with him. And Skid from Bad Boys, which is one of the producers. We got in and we were just having a good time.
Yeah, but I thought there was a big rival between Ciroc and effing vodka. Like, it's always telling people not to drink the puffy juice.
Well, we was drinking the puffy juice.
That's gangster. So, about the process of, so how are you finding these beats or producers, and how does that process work? Like, how does it go down, the transaction? How do you meet them? Do they contact you? You contact them?
I usually go to the local producers at first, especially the people that know my sound. They're actually fans as well. I go to them and bring them my ideas of what I'm trying to do and see if we can work with that. This project right here, I reached out actually to online producers like OG Beats and a few other Kamal, few other from the islands. I reached out to them, and all it is you basically just go on YouTube, see what you like, and you download, and then you reach out to them and you pay for the beat. They send you the wave links and you call it a day. The wave files, you call it a day. You know what I'm saying? They're happy, I'm happy, we all happy.
Definitely. Okay. So, what is it about the beats that stand out to you enough that you want to purchase it? Like, how do you know it's the right one for you to do?
You just gotta have your spirit talk to you and let you know. This is the way I do it. I just, I meditate and I really listen, and soon I get at that feeling like, yes, this is it right here for this track. This is what I need. This is what I need. You get like a little calling. And when you get that calling, you just know what to do. You know how to ride the rhythm from there.
Okay. So I'm definitely interested in your perspective regarding the people that argue that music can only exist with drums, bass guitar, the plugged in purist. My own music largely falls into a particular genre as yours, which is hip hop. And I know what I would say to validate the existence of hip hop music being music, but what would you say melodic? Just because it's not plugged in doesn't mean it's any less valid or real, does it?
Acapella, you could still, you don't really need the guitar and it depends. A lot of people don't really, it depends. I can still ride the rhythm acapella. I've done it at several shows and the crowd went wild. Just me spitting fast and just tongue twisting and just like, what is that? That's ill. You can do that? Oh, snap. That's the reaction you get. And then, back in the days, I can remember being on the block and DJ Backspin from Street Smart Entertainment used to beatbox. And I would just start rapping,
Yeah. Okay. So like I said, man, I was bumping the mixtape all day today while I was working. So what's the secret, man? Is it the production, the songwriting, and assembly, knowing your equipment and how to get the maximum out of it? You're making some fantastic textures and truly wicked sonic adventures. You're making music that can take people somewhere in their minds. So let us all in on your recipe.
It's really how we speak, how we think. It's kind of just being good at what you do, saying what you mean, meaning what you say, and really like knowing your equipment, knowing what each thing does, and once you learn all that, how to use it, kind of just keep going with it and learning. And as far as the writing, you just gotta come with it, You just gotta listen to your spirit once again, and listen to that inner voice, and if you have something to say it.
Right. I definitely agree with that. So we can reference that cookie cutter rap music is occurring more commonly in today's music, and it's sad. Do you feel the same, and why do you suppose that is? Why are we letting cookie cutter, rap into our industry?
Man, the cookie cutter. Me, I've had a lot of people come into the studio and couldn't really rap. Don't really got it like that. And I try to make them sound good. And at first I used to be like, see, back in the day it was a little different. I'm more mature now. But back in the day I was like, yo, you can't rap. You need to get out of the studio. It's straight up like that. Now it's more of like, you know what, let me see if I can, that's when the auto-tunes thing come into, Let me see if I can make this dude sound good. And so he can be happy and be on his way, with his music. But that's where we are. That's where a lot of good artists mess up at. Just letting it ride out. When that shit's garbage, that's just garbage. Just letting it ride out. And a lot of artists just like, it is what it is, just let it be. But some of them I like though. A lot of these new artists I do like. I like A$AP Rocky. I like 2 Chainz. I'm not a big fan, what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a big fan, but I do like certain music they do. And I'm gonna leave it at that with that one.
Okay. Keeping it positive. I like that. All right, so obviously there's still a desire to make music for the people that, might be making something boring, repetitive, or just plain bad. And I suppose the main problem is still the consumer marketing aspect that many of these artists reach a certain level of celebrity that their music shouldn't necessarily entitle them to be held in such high regards. So I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but I'm curious to see, how do you feel about, artists being put on a pedestal that their talents really doesn't back that up? So I want to know, how do you feel about artists that are being put on a pedestal, are like, high celebrity status, and they're not really that good? Like, do you feel that's fair to the hardworking, talented artists? And like, let's say Lupe Fiasco, great, musician, songwriter, rapper, but he's not held in high regard as a Big Sean. Not saying that Big Sean isn't talented, because Big Sean can blow dope, but I think Lupe is slightly better lyrical.
I think artists should stay lyrical no matter what. I did have to dumb down a little bit for people to understand where I'm at, but I still try to keep the lyrical as much as possible and give that delivery. I say keep it lyrical and definitely I have to I had to dumb down for people to understand. It's because that all that has to do with what's going on in our society, with people being in low vibration and not really being in high vibration. You know what I'm saying? Not being on that level, and it has to do with what's going on with the world as well, with the whole what's in the food and what's in the water we drink and what we eat. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the main reasons for that, why you have to kind of like dumb down for people to really like communicate. I'm not calling people dumb. I'm just saying what you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
I'm just trying to word it the best way as I can, but it is what it is. But I say for artists to be lyrical and really try. Don't just say whatever, because that's what I'm hearing nowadays. Like people just saying whatever on their music, and it's things that I've been doing in high school. Like I've been saying that in high school, dude. Like I'm talking about what's going on now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all right. So after the music break, it'll be time for our usual tradition. It is called the hot seat, and our fans love this part of the segment, and of course along with the actual interview. But the audience get a chance to hear either some vocals, a poem, inspirational speech, written works, spoken word, freestyle rap, recite lyrics, karaoke, jokes, musical tributes, stories, live instruments from our special guests. Well, you never know what these creative minds and vessels will produce in a spotlight, and tonight we'll find out if Mr. Melodic have what it takes to be put on the spot, a test of his true artistry, and maybe even some hidden talents. So when we come back, we'll see if Mr. Melodic can hold up. But for now, I want to play this song that I really, 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 really enjoyed off of your mixtape. Like, I had it on repeat, man. I think it's going to be my favorite song. I'm still listening, but right now, this is my favorite song off of Melodic Flow Volume 2. And here it is, Mr. Melodic, Do You Really?
Hello, good morning. Is everything okay? I'm trying to focus, but the picture fades away. I'm all alone, 'cause I don't need no friends. My heart been broken, and all I feel is pain. Nobody feels me, I just feel this way. Sorry, I'm different, God made me this way. She still loves me, so she's sad. So Soon I give a chance, they walk away. Do you really want me, or is it just a phase? Do you really love me, or are you playing games? You got me thinking, how you different from all these bitches I've been dating, I've been drinking. Now you're switching, now you're bitching, breaking dishes.
Why I told you bitch you was gonna change. I would not listen to you when you are yelling.
This is nothing new, I'm used to this. This is what they do, I'm used to it. Is it a curse? Somebody put a man. It always gets worse, every relationship. I'm like a psychic, because I know it will not last. They always go, she still loves me, so she said. Soon I give a chance, they walk away. Do you really want me, or is it just a phase? Do you really love me, or are you playing games? You got me thinking, how you different from all these bitches I've been dating. You got me thinking, how you different from all these bitches I've been dating. Do you really want me, or is it just a phase? Do you really love me, or are you playing games? You got me thinking, how you different from all these bitches I've been dating. You got me thinking, how you different from all these bitches I've been dating. Do you really want me? Do you really love me?
All right, and we are back with you guys once again. That was Mr. Melodic, Do You Really? Man, I think that song is so creative, and I mean, it was very simple to the point, but it was done in a way that it just sticks in your head. He did it so perfect, so perfect. All right, Melodic, you are back with us, and you're in the hot seat, brother.
Yes, sir. What y'all want me to spit?
Man, you can do whatever you want, man. It's on you.
Alright. Words of knowledge, the secret. They won't teach us. Preachers and teachers in college, brainwashing the ether. Science or religion, acknowledge the pieces. Carry the cross on my back like Jesus, please believe us. Wake up to breakfast, working for the root of evil. All my people were equal in its devotion. On a time schedule, got to stay focused. Pay attention to the signs, keep your mind open. Intelligent minds combined, stay divine in life. Angels and demons fight for the right to survive. Can you handle the vibe? Take a look into my eyes. Please tell me what you see. Real recognize real, better recognize a G. My tongue and my sword, I'm coming with force, breaking your door, then breaking your jaw. Words of weapons, killing you demons, attacking the music, the heart of the soul. Give me your reason and meaning, the cause. See me be keeping my faith in the Lord. Deep in the feeling for liquor and more, addicted to lust and you're rushing, you fall. Nowhere to run, nowhere to sit. Frontline niggas come march with this. Blessed with the gift, but you're lost in the midst. Now you get trapped in the world of the man. Out of his head, to the world he's dead. Speaking through music, the lessons ahead. Listen to the words, did you hear what he said? My words is herb to get higher than him. The story's been told, the message is old. Not to listen is what you chose. Time is froze, it's out of control. Clear my path when I march the road. Searching for gold, we're saving the soul. God's soldiers never go alone. Carry the cross and sit on the throne, all in white with blood in his clothes. Killing you demons were words that I chose. Words are weapons, unlocking the low. Twisting my tongue and you catching the cold. 1 minute he's there, 1 minute he's gone. Up in the sky, gonna fly to my zone. Yeah, you fear the one in the song. Singing alone and bringing them home. It's melodic, the one that they chose.
Ooh, okay. Man, that was dope, yo. That was dope. My bad for spazzing out over here over a dope flow like that. But man, I hardly ever get excited like that, but wow. Okay. That was truly dope. So, any last words before we get up off here?
Stay positive, peace and love. God bless everyone and all you all. Let angels be on your pillows tonight. Bless.
Where can they find the mixtape at?
They can find the mixtape at Automac. Automac.com. Audiomac.com.
All right. So we just search Mr. Melodic.
Yeah, just search Mr. Melodic.
Gotcha. All right, kitties, vigilantes, and hooligans. Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out the podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download. You could grab that from our server over at Spreaker.com/only1mediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, our website, and that goes for every single episode that we ever aired. If you would like to request music or a guest or send something for us to play, email it to bradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. Here's my disclaimer. We are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts. Actually, scratch all of that. All of my opinions are always right. Bottom line, this is my show, so deal with it. Nah, just kidding. On behalf of myself, Denny Mussolini, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word because sharing is caring. And also special thanks to our guest, Mr. Melodic, for joining us tonight. We stepped our game up just for you guys and our guests to make sure they have the best experience here on our show. You never know, Denny may just end up on one of their songs. I do it all, my friends. Okay, with that thought, well, just remember to be yourself and be absolutely freaking great at just doing that. Peace and have a wonderful night.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. Co-hosted by the Vigilantes Banditti. Call in to join the mix. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com.